welcome to the 95th edition of the Fallout Feed. I am Andrew, and joined today by Sarah. Hello, Sarah.
Hi.
Welcome to the show. Sarah is going to be joining on for the rest of the season. Try to help us fill out the crew a little bit. So thank you and welcome aboard, Sarah.
Thank you.
And stalwart host Ray. Hello, Ray. How are you this evening?
Evening, Andrew.
Great to hear from you, sir. Thank you for joining us. And our special guest this evening, coming to you from the Mind Fog Show, is our good friend Aaron. How are you tonight, Aaron? I know I can't hear him at all now, Ray.
Nope.
Aaron was having a little bit of audio issues, so he was trying to figure those out on the fly. So I don't know if he just killed his capabilities of speaking to us at all. No, but Aaron, you can hop on in if you can hear us here in the future. But speaking of Aaron, he was nice enough to join our project. With our roundtable here, we're doing bobblehead collection on the podcast, but we're also doing another project sort of in tandem over there on the Twitch stream channel. And you can find that at twitch.tv/ASA podcasting. We've already had a couple people go and fetch some bobbleheads on our Twitch stream. We've had Jeremy, who went and got the Melee bobblehead over at Trinity Tower, which I learned from his stream is what, the Prudential Tower or something like that in Boston? I don't know. He's giving you a history lesson. I think he lives near Boston or in Boston. And also Aaron. He's from Massachusetts too. Gosh.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Oh, all right.
But Aaron went and got the Perception bobblehead for us. So the Twitch stream is live and going. Michael will be doing the Repair bobblehead over from the Corvega plant when he gets a second to fetch that here in the next week or so. We have another batch coming up here next week, and I will touch on that later in the show. We've got a whole lot of feedback to go through, but first, before we start going through some feedback, I'd like to hear if anybody has any interesting stories or anything that they got into this week. Ray, have you did you get to play any Fallout this week?
No.
Oh, that's
I didn't get to play any Skyrim either. The both of them got updates, and so I had to wait until the F4SE and the SKSE came out to get my script extender running again.
How long does that take?
It took them like a day and a half.
Okay.
They're usually pretty good about that.
Yep. Yeah, they're definitely on it.
Aaron, just to let you know, I don't really hear the clicking sound anymore.
Yeah, I switched to my my camera mic, so
nice.
Not to torture everyone.
Don't sweat it, man. Well, Aaron, did you play any? Let's see. You went and got the Perception bobblehead for us. Would you like to tell us a little bit about your character, Aaron? How I don't know. This is your first time that you're playing a character other than your Mind Fog character. If anyone's not familiar, Mind Fog, he's playing a story with his character, and he is still not finished the game. So Ray, Sarah, and I are going to be a little bit careful not to. We're going to try not to spoil him. He says, "Don't worry about it anymore."
Yeah, don't worry about it.
But I still want him to be fresh with it. It's really cool to hear him.
Yeah,
so.
You've gone way too long for one of us to spoil it. I can't.
Yeah. All right. I appreciate it.
Yeah. So your Mindfuck character has a certain set of stats, and I don't know if that's something that you built based upon how you would normally build a character, because you've played the other Fallout games in the past. I don't know if you have a certain play style. Could you just fill us in a little bit about your history with Fallout, if you have a certain kind of play style, if your Mindfuck character is that play style, and how the roundtable role differs and what sort of problems you see or sort of challenges you have to overcome based on that role?
The Mindfog character is pretty much how I play, and which is just pick a gun that seems to do the most damage and try and get your strength up so you can carry stuff, and your charisma as high as you can to open up the dialogue options and things like that. I don't really pay. The other thing is, I guess, anything that'll maximize my ability to use terminals and things like that. So that's usually how I do that. But this one, I was at a disadvantage with that because the intelligence was 2. With this, I used your character generator, which is very cool. I hadn't seen that before. So I rolled a character using that. I got strength 4, perception, endurance, and charisma were all 5, as was luck, and then intelligence and agility were 2. And my follower was dog meat, and I was playing as a female. And this was only the second Fallout 4 character I had done, because since the beginning I've been playing with that with Samuel. So,
that's great. I forgot.
Yeah, it was interesting.
No, awesome. So just tell us a little bit about it. You started off in the vault, of course, and then probably out via Sanctuary. How did you find going to fetch the bobblehead?
It was I wasn't really sure how I was gonna start, because the character generator has it tells you what your settlement is. So I was thinking, well, should I go to the settlement? But I decided, since it was so early, I was just gonna start. I was just gonna start at the beginning. So it was different. What was really different was the whole sequence where you see your partner get killed. I guess it's okay for me to spoil things. Your partner does get killed in this game right at the beginning. So,
gasp.
Yes, sorry if you haven't gotten that far yet. But but
the first 10 minutes of the game yet.
Yeah, but it was really different, because I don't know how many times I've sort of gone over the whole, seeing my wife get killed. And I think I've revisited that a couple times in the story and in Mindfog, and then so seeing my husband get killed in this version was just kind of blew my mind. It was just kind of different that you're really, because I think most games I just sort of play through and just. I sort of have ADD when I go through. I'm not really paying really super close attention to the story, but just due to the way that I've had to play this playthrough, like really concentrating on every tiny little thing, it has become, this is who I play as. So to play it from a completely different perspective was just really interesting for me as I was going through it. So that was the main thing that I really noticed as I was going through, was how different it was playing as a female this time. So I got through, I went through, instead of spending the first 5 or 6 days building things in Sanctuary like I did the first time, I hopped down to, just said hi to Codsworth, told him what was going on, went to the Red Rocket to talk to Dogmeat, and asked him to find something for me. And at first I thought he didn't find anything for me. I'm like, what? He's just standing there barking, and so I was like, oh, thanks for finding me something. And I didn't think he had found me anything. So then when I got a little further, I realized, oh wait, he did find me that package, the packet of medical supplies that's right outside there. That was he found it. I hadn't even noticed that, so I felt really bad.
Radex or something, yeah.
Yes.
And
then I got to go ahead.
Then I always have that problem where I tell him to go find stuff, and it says he found something, but I can never tell what he found.
Yeah. Like, where is it?
He's standing there whining and scratching at the ground, and I'm like, you're scratching at just dirt. What? I don't know.
Yeah, like help me out. Am I blind? Like, what? I don't know. So I got to Concord and dispatched the raiders, and Preston did his call down to me, and got through, went down to grab the fusion core, before I went up. And when I met them, they went on about how, they needed a fusion core and really could have used the fusion core, and then it's downstairs. And I just felt like, yeah, I should be able to just tell them, here it is. But so grabbed the bobblehead, and that's when the stream cut out. So I started it back up and went and killed the Deathclaw. And then as they're talking about, I think before Preston even had a chance to ask me to do anything else, I kind of ducked out of there and headed back out, and that was my bobblehead grab.
What's your stance on power armor? Where the show sort of divided. Kara is a big proponent, and I almost never use it. I don't think Ray uses it much either.
Kara, what does Kara like about the what's she like about the power armor? Do you know?
I don't know. I think it's just because
it helps her not die.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan, just because I have like range anxiety, and I think I might be carrying around 20 fusion cores, but I don't like to rely on anything that can sort of run out.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any other. I don't know. It's weird how I sort of feel a little bit more encumbered too for some reason, even though I'm just playing a game and it's, the GUI is pretty much the same, apart from having a little bit more readouts immediately in your field of view. But I would rather see more of the landscape.
No, I totally agree. I feel claustrophobic when I'm in the power, if that makes sense. Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
So I would say no. I'm a no on the power armor.
Power armor. Sweet. You went and got that Perception bobblehead. I suggest everyone proceed to twitch.tv/ASA podcasting. And I will, at the end of the season, compile all of these 20 bobblehead videos over into a nice playlist over on our YouTube channel. So look forward to that, everyone. Aaron, thank you so much for fetching the bobblehead for us over on Twitch. That's awesome.
Thank you for letting me do my first live stream.
Yeah. Hopefully you'll be encouraged to do some more in the future. We got some audio feedback from a lot of people to get to tonight. We've got Josh, Leon, Craig, Steve, Colin, and Jeremy sent in a couple files. We've also got some emails, one from Wendy and one from Chris. So, Sarah, did you have anything that you wanted to talk about Fallout-wise before? How's your character going? Did you get to play it all this week? I didn't get to talk to you.
Got to play a little bit, and by the way, I made it finally through Trinity Tower.
Oh, nice.
Took me forever.
Are you still level 5 or whatever?
I did it as a level 5. Yeah, I'm not a level 5 anymore, but I went back and I grabbed myself some power armor, and I just took everyone down.
Nice. Is that your normal way? Do you like the power armor usually?
No, I am kind of in the same boat as Aaron. My original first character, she has like 1 million, it feels like, fusion cores.
Yeah.
And I feel kind of like you too. It feels a little bit claustrophobic. I just don't feel like, I don't know. Yeah. I'm not super big into it, but since I took out Trinity Tower in some, I'm kind of coming around to it because it's pretty nice. Like, you can do a lot more damage, or at least take a lot more damage, and I die a whole lot less. So
I really like.
Well, and you do more damage with your melee because it gives you a natural strength increase.
Yeah, yeah. So
are you a melee player?
I'm not. I'm normally a VATS player, but my roundtable character is melee. You can do VATS in melee.
Oh yeah.
Why?
Well, and it's
if you're that close,
it's really helpful if if you get caught in a routine where where they keep blocking every hit you throw at them, and you can't counter block them to stop them. You jump into VATS, and it'll automatically break through and hit them.
Well,
so if you find yourself stuck like that, just hit the VATS and you can club them.
They can't block at VATS at all?
No.
Wow. That seems really OP.
Yeah, my question is, if you do a critical hit with melee, what does that look like? Do I knock somebody's head off?
Once you get to, I think, the 3rd level of big leagues.
Oh, that's right. That's right. It's part of the perk.
Yep.
Oh, there you go. Well, learn something.
And you get the little cheer and.
That's right. Oh man, I'm excited for that.
Have you run around the base paths at Diamond City, Sarah?
Run around the base paths? I have.
What's that do? I forget. Ray, what does that do?
It gives you one of those achievement things.
Yeah, you don't get anything from it. I remember being very disappointed.
I thought it gave you some sort of melee bonus or something.
Yep.
No. That's too bad. They missed an opportunity there. They should have teamed it up with that big leagues perk or something, you know? Too appropriate.
Oh, that's super appropriate. And I was excited doing it because I thought I was going to get something. It's like when you walk what is it?
Freedom Trail?
Freedom Trail. Thank you.
Yeah.
When you walk the Freedom Trail, I thought I was going to get something, but no.
Well, you get the railroad.
No. I mean, with the big leagues. I mean, not the big leagues. Running the bases. I thought you're going to get something from running the bases because you get the railroad from the Freedom Trail.
Oh, okay.
Anyway.
You thought there was going to be like a secret faction hidden under home plate?
Oh, for sure. I thought there was going to be something.
A secret league of umpires?
Yeah. Something cool.
Oh. Wait.
I really like trains, so I'm looking forward to this railroad.
You're going to be disappointed, sir.
Oh, no. There's totally trains.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Okay, here I'm going to show my ignorance a lot. The Underground Railroad, as far as I remember, was more of a Civil War era type thing. Why is it included in this Revolutionary War era of Boston stuff? Most of the other references,
because it actually went through Boston.
Did it? I thought it went through the.
Yeah, that's what the Freedom Trail is actually in a thing in Boston with the red tile, going around the city.
Actually, I've done it. I've seen it in real life.
Nice.
Yeah.
And so, okay, because here in Indiana, we actually have like I grew up Quaker, so like we know all the Quaker sites around the state, and there are a lot of Underground Railroad sites around here, and so I've done like little tours and stuff. So I didn't know that it actually went up the East Coast too. That's cool.
Yep.
I thought it was drawing more of a comparison between, where I'm going with this without spoiling too much, the Underground Railroad and what they did.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I didn't get the Boston connection.
He's been to Diamond City. He knows that there's sense in the game.
Oh,
yeah.
I'm very worried about this.
No, I seriously, I don't want you to worry too much about it. I mean, I kind of guessed the concept based on some of the Fallout 3 stuff.
Oh.
So
okay.
I can.
Okay, well, I better pull up some of this feedback that I mentioned earlier here before we get too deep into the show. Let's go ahead and start with Josh. Hi, Josh. Thank you so much for writing in. He's got a character named Dexter he's going to tell us about. So let's pull up here. Fallout feed 95. And Josh.
Hi, this is Josh from Idaho. This is my Fallout Roundtable Season 5 Quests for the Bobbleheads introduction and first 3 bobbleheads. I rolled a male character, named him Dexter. His follower is Dogmeat. Does not have a romance. His Commonwealth faction is the Institute, which I've never played an Institute playthrough. It's actually only my 3rd character that I've created. Raider faction is the Disciples. I haven't played all the way through Nuka World, so I actually have had very limited experience with the Raider factions over there. Met all of them, but never actually completed anything over there. Let's see. So my strength was 1. My perception was 5, endurance 5, charisma is 2, intelligence is 2, agility is 5, and I have a 8 in luck. My perks that were assigned were Iron Fist, Locksmith, Toughness, Attack Dog, Gun Nut, Mr. Sandman, and Critical Banker. I did my fairness factor, and it looked like I was I believe a +4 overall. So it's actually pretty heavily in my favor. I only have to increase charisma 2 to be able to get to Attack Dog, and intelligence I need to increase 1 to get to Gun Nut. Went ahead and started out and went and got the special book, put that in charisma. I actually mapped out, I used the perk chart that Lee had posted on the Facebook page, and I put down all 50 of my perks, or I mapped them all out. I, however, did not put a perk in for increasing either charisma or intelligence, thinking that I would just, once I got the bobblehead, that would go ahead and take care of it. There was a little bit of a flaw in that, because I ended up picking that I wanted to take Gun Nut at level 5. So that means I need the intelligence bobblehead before that. Unfortunately, now I'm on level 7 and have not picked Gun Nut yet. I actually decided that because I mapped this all out, I would stick to it. And so I'm waiting to take any perks until after I get the intelligence bobblehead over at I believe it's in the library. So I feel like I'm fairly low level to be running around getting most of this stuff, with the exception of the perception bobblehead, but it is what it is. So I ended up, went to the Museum of Freedom in Concord and got the perception bobblehead. That was fairly easy. Made my way through the museum. I did die once because in one of the rooms where there's 2 raiders, I thought I would be able to sneak in and punch them, thinking that I had already taken the Iron Fist perk, which I had not. I'd only taken at level 2 toughness. And I believe, let's see, once I got up this, once I killed all the raiders, got in, I talked to Preston. I was trying not to really do much with anybody at this point in time. But I went ahead and grabbed the power armor and the minigun and went and killed the Deathclaw. Nothing really changed from my playthrough with any of my perks. When I was trying to kill the Deathclaw, I went into that building that's up at the end of the road right next to where the Deathclaw comes out, and just backed into the doorway so that the Deathclaw couldn't reach me, and then killed him from there. Let's see. So I ended up getting up to level 3. I took Mr. Sandman, the first level in that. Went up to Sanctuary and did a few things setting up Sanctuary. I always seem to do that. I feel bad leaving them defenseless and that kind of stuff. So went ahead and put up the defenses and food and water, that kind of stuff. And then headed out so that I could look into getting the repair bobblehead over at Corvega. Forgot that you don't have to go into Corvega in order to get that. So I went in, and took me a while, died a few times, but was ultimately able to get through there. Had to use a lot of stim packs on dog meat. I just always feel bad whenever he's whimpering. I guess I forgot I had picked up dog meat over at the Red Rocket after I left Sanctuary. So let's see. So went to Corvega, went inside, cleared that all out, then realized that the bobblehead was actually up top by the looks kind of like a water tower with the Corvega sign on it. So went out, ran around, killed all the raiders that were around Corvega, and then got the bobblehead. So I was pretty happy about that. Went ahead and, let's see, I believe I was at level 4 at that point. So I took locksmith level 1. I always like having locksmith. So that's not really out of my wheelhouse. I really like being able to pick the locks. And I don't like it when I'm locked out of that kind of stuff. So decided I was going to head out to go look for the melee bobblehead. I actually, when I got to Trinity Tower, I had turned on my radio when I got the Trinity Tower broadcast and listened to Rex talk about how he was trapped up there. And so went in, but before I actually did the level, earlier that day, I had seen on Switch that I believe it was Jeremy had posted that playthrough. He had a shotgun, an automatic shotgun, and all kinds of good, weapons. I did not. I had a hunting rifle, a 10 millimeter, some frag grenades, and he, made it through. And I thought, wow, this is going to be pretty difficult because at that point in time, I had made it up to level 7, but had, like I said before, I did not take a perk at 5, 6, or 7. So I had 3, which that is a little out of my wheelhouse because I always use my perks as soon as I get them. I remember hearing Andrew talk about how he would, save up his for fear of, not, putting him in the wrong place or something like that. And so he would save up, quite a few perks and throw them down all at once. I never do that. I always, once I get a perk, I immediately pick it. So I guess this is my way of being out of my wheelhouse. So ended up started on the lower level, made it through the super mutants that were down there and the mutant hounds. So I went ahead and moved up the next level, kept moving slowly but surely, sneaking as much as I could. Ended up finding a mutant hound up a level and killed him, and then immediately did a quick save instead of waiting to see if I was safe. So I ended up having to replay that portion quite a few times because there were 2 super mutants right behind me, and they just kept whacking me over the head with their boards. And so I was dying pretty quick. I finally got to the point where I was able to run away and hide into an area. I took out my frag grenades and threw those and then hid behind the wall. That worked actually pretty well. I believe it's because I'm such low level that these the guys that I'm going up against are also a lower level because pretty much one frag grenade was taking out 1 to 2 super mutants at a time. So that made it a little bit easier. Bad thing was I only had a few frag grenades. I think I had 6 total. So once I'd used all those up, I started using Molotov cocktails and in my 10 millimeter. And let's see, made it up to where, let's see, it was Fist, I think is the super mutant's name. Because I had watched Jeremy's video, I recognized the area where he would be. And so I had 1 bottle cap mine and I had 1 frag mine. So I went ahead and attempted to throw those on the ramp so that they would go off when he followed me back down after I shot him. But they just rolled down the ramp to the bottom. It ended up working out okay because he went back, or after I shot at Fist, he followed me back down the ramp, and both the mines went off at the same time. They didn't kill him, but came close. I finished him off with the 10 millimeter pistol, and then went up the stairs, got the key for the jail cell that Rex and Strong were in. After I went ahead and unlocked that, Brex wanted me to get out of there as quickly as possible. I went in, found the bobblehead. That actually, it was time for me to head to work, so I went ahead and shut down the game. So that's where I'm at this point in time. There was one more thing about my build. When I set out all my perks, I noticed that I had slots open in 35 and 36, and so I thought it would be fun to kind of go along with everybody else that had got stuck with vans. I did not, but just figured I'd take that vans at 35 and then again at 36.
That's hilarious.
It's crossed my mind to eliminate those two from there and just take a perk in charisma and intelligence so that I can get my assigned perks a little bit faster. But yeah, I don't know. We'll wonder what your guys' thoughts are. I will see you in the wasteland.
You got to take vans now. You brought it up. You wrote them into the list, man. You screwed yourself.
All the cool kids are doing it.
Sorry, say that again?
Said all the cool kids are doing it.
All the kids, yeah. The cool kids have the cool vans with the shag carpet in the back and the fringe around the lining around the top. And it plays La Cucaracha when you hit the horn, right? Mine's got steer horns on the front bumper. Sweet rockin' vans, man. Josh, thanks for your feedback. Go ahead and get that bobblehead early. I don't care. You can keep up with the schedule if you want to. I've actually fudged the my character a little bit already. There was a perk in the intelligence category that I wanted to get, and I didn't want to waste a perk point on boosting up intelligence, so I went and got that bobblehead a little bit early. I don't care, man. Go get that bobblehead if you need it. Do you guys have any thoughts about Josh? Go ahead and jump in. I've got a couple of thoughts written down here. He was talking about the pre-planned perks and how I would be so nervous about investing them incorrectly, so I'd save them up in batches of 10 or whatever until I figured out what direction I wanted the character to go, and then I'll go. I'm telling you, Josh, this new system that the Fudge Muppet and Ray and everybody is doing now this season with the pre-planning of the perks, it's such a stress reliever for me. It's an anxiety. It lifts anxiety off my chest. I don't even have to make up my mind anymore. I just check my list and go, and it's so awesome. So I'm not saving them up anymore either, man. I'm investing them as I go. Trinity Tower 7. That sounds like a Sarah move.
And with the 10mm.
Yeah, he had a hunting rifle and a 10mm. He didn't. If you watch Jeremy's video, he's got like the automatic explosive shotgun or something.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That was pretty ballsy. That's impressive.
His everyone else on Earth is smart and knows how to use mines and grenades effectively. I use explosives and I just kill myself.
Yeah, I do too.
I'm like, I'm gonna get you with this mine, and I'm dead.
My grenade is mapped to some. See, this is the thing. I never set my machine up properly.
Oh,
my grenade is mapped to something that something else is mapped to as well. So anytime, I forget what it is, if I duck or something, it launches or maybe quick save, it launches a grenade, and I just have never fixed it. I'm almost ashamed to admit that, but yeah, I end up dying every time. I'm like, I got to fix that sometime.
Eventually, I need to do something about that problem.
That day is not today.
Not today. Got to go do something else.
Yep.
Now, I remember Victor one time had his perks, I forget exactly what they were, but it was like explosives and bash or something. And they're the same button, aren't they?
Yeah.
On the PC keyboard, it's the Alt key.
Yeah, like
there you go.
How do you know what you're gonna do? I don't need, like.
So you have to tap it
or hold, right?
To bash and hold it down and let it go to throw a grenade.
Oh, that's complicated to me.
There you go.
That's why I end up killing myself, because of tapping and holding. I panic. And I hold when I meant to tap.
One thing I noticed on this playthrough that he mentioned was about dog meat, about feeling bad seeing him injured or whatever. I didn't realize, because I guess it's been a long time since I had dog meat with me, how bloody he gets when he's banged up, and I didn't really know how to give him a stim pack other than put it in his inventory, because like I said, I don't generally travel with him. But yeah, he was messed up, and I felt really bad for him. I'm like, oh, you poor dog.
He eventually like takes a knee when he gets hurt bad enough, and he won't move.
Okay.
And if you approach him and put your cursor over him, it'll just say your action button will be stim pack dog meat or whatever.
Ah, okay.
So you can just sort of auto pump one into his leg or whatever.
Maybe he wasn't completely down.
Yeah.
It's so sad.
I saved the stim packs, and you just kill all the enemies that are close by, and he gets up.
Yeah, he eventually will just get up anyway. Yeah, if you wait long enough. Sarah, you were about to say something?
I was just saying he cries, and it makes me sad.
Oh, yeah, he whimpers a really sad whimper. Poor buddy. Hey, Josh, thanks a lot for your feedback. Anybody have any other thoughts for Josh? Did he have questions? Did he ask questions in there?
I didn't hear any.
Okay. No.
Yeah, he does illustrate a good point, though, that if you do go through and lay out your perks, you've got to make sure that you note where you need to add the bobblehead.
Yes.
So that you have a good idea whether or not you're going to be able to get it at that point or not.
Yeah, that was a good point. I actually have. Besides the intelligence, I forget there's one more I've already went and got early. Strength, maybe? I think. Yes, because I needed to get my steady aim perk. It improves my hip. What's it called? Hip shot? And it's not hip shot. Whatever that. Free non-aiming scope. Shooting from the hip. What is that called, Ray?
I think it is shooting from the hip or hip shot.
Hip shot? No? That doesn't sound right to me.
Does that not sound?
Sounds weird. I don't know. But whatever that is, it improves that. And so I'm actually getting better because I've taken 2 perks in it already. And it's like, wow, I can sort of like miss. My cursor can be off the bad guy and it'll still hit him a little bit. It's nice.
Nice.
It helps my bad aim, which I am terrible aim. All right, so let's go ahead and check in with Leon here. Aaron, I know that you said you had to cut out because you have an early morning. Whenever you need to, you can just say goodnight or whatever. But you're welcome to hang out as long as you want. Okay.
Cool. Thanks. I'll go one more.
Okay. So we have Leon here checking in, down from Tejas.
G'day. This is Leon from Texas playing Elmer for the Fallout Feed Roundtable, the Bobblehead Roundtable. So this is my feedback for the perception, repair, and melee bobbleheads. So Elmer had been kind of messing around in the Commonwealth, doing nothing really special, and then he decided to finally follow up with Codsworth. Sorry, brain locked. Recommendation to go check out Lexington, and so. I headed to the Museum of Freedom and took out the raiders. Then went in and met the survivors, Preston. Went up, helped him out, and I'd opened the gate to get the fusion core. So I grabbed the bobblehead as I walked by, I grabbed the armor, and since I had picked up a sniper rifle, I sat up on the roof and just sniped all of the raiders that showed up. When the Deathclaw showed up, I let the Deathclaw kill the raiders in the back. And then he didn't advance because I'd killed all the other raiders that were coming towards the museum. He actually turned around and kind of walked backwards. So that's when I finally jumped down with the power armor, went and kind of chased him down and shot him and killed him. He got up, picked me up, threw me around a little bit, but I had dropped the sniper rifle at that point for the minigun, so I just, he blew all my ammo pretty much and wiped him out. Then I escorted the survivors into Sanctuary. Luckily, I had saved the game right after I killed the Deathclaw because I ran into a strange glitch. It hadn't happened to me before. And what happened was, is the minute I walked into Sanctuary, all of my settlers, because I've been playing for a little bit, my settlers had started attacking me as soon as I got out of the armor. Now, when I was in the armor, it said I was in combat, so, but they weren't attacking me. But the minute I got out of the armor, they started attacking me. So I don't know what that was. I saved it. And then this time, instead of escorting the survivors, I just fast traveled there, and everything was fine. So no big deal. Now then, did some work around Sanctuary to help out the survivors. Preston, because I'd already cleared out several settlements, he sent me to Greentop Nursery, I believe it's called. And instead of sending me to Corvega, which is kind of what I expected, because that's usually the beginning, they actually sent me to Dunwich Borers. I have not done that yet because I know that's later in the towards the end, but I'm probably going to wind up having to do that one early just so I can kind of advance Preston's quests, because I do want to become the General of the Minutemen this playthrough. So I'm probably going to do that one out of order. That'll actually probably be the next one I do. All right, so then we go to Corvega, and like I said, I'd done some exploring, so I had actually already gotten the quest for the USS Constitution, and I'd gotten it to the point where they sent you to Corvega. I'm not a big fan of robots with this character. I'm going to play him as a paladin, but he's still not a big fan of robots because they're not people. So I decided to side with the salvagers, and I'm going to destroy the robots. I've never actually done that before, so I thought it'd be interesting. Usually I side with the robots, but one thing, I'm going to be kind of a paladin, but I'm going to play it where I'm not a big fan of robots. So it's going to be interesting when he finally realizes the synths aren't robots. That ought to be weird. Anyways, I haven't done it that way before. So while I was through Corvega, I picked up the part I needed from there. Now, I have all of the Creation Club, so I've picked up most of them. I don't have all of them. I don't have some of the newer ones like the dogs. I do have the Dalmatian, but I don't have like the Bulldog and the Golden Retriever. I'm actually probably going to be using the Dalmatian instead of dog meat. It'll be I got to play with that a little bit more. So then I went to Corvega, and before I did, I knew that was going to be a fight. So I jumped in my horse armor, power armor. It gives you pretty decent protection. It's not the best. That's the Hellfire, but it actually is supposed to be faster, and that's something I was caring about. So now this time, I've been able to level up a few more times since museum, and so I've started putting points into my melee skills. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to go to Dunwich early, so I'm going to get the knife there. But right now, I'm currently just using like a combat blade that I've bumped up a little bit. And then when I run across robots, I'll use the General Cow's, I think his name's, sword. So I pretty much just, I did snipe everybody on the outside of Corvega, and then ran through, searched everything, and then I went in through the top, that little hatch you can find on, I think it's the northeast side. So I dropped in through there, switched out my sniper rifle for my 10mm pistol, Wastelander's Friend, the one that does extra limb damage, and switched between that and my combat blade, and just killed everybody. Looted everything I could, and just waylaid everybody. It was pretty easy, but having a suit of power armor, plus I'd already leveled up a couple points in melee, and pretty much the 10mm was, as there were several people, and I couldn't get up to them quick enough. Otherwise, it was just stabby. So then I went exploring a little bit more and went to Trinity Tower and got the signal for there. And so I fought my way up, and for this one, it pretty much was, at this point, it was buff out, actually buff tats, and just stabby. I was all still in my horsepower armor. That's probably going to be my power armor of choice for this game. I do have the Hellfire also, but it does seem faster. I have put the points on strong back, That's not one of my assigned perks, but I like strong back because I do fast travel. Usually when I'm loaded up at the end, I like to, okay, I've ended a quest, now I jump back, drop everything off, and then walk out to the next quest. So I'm kind of halfway doing the walking and halfway fast traveling. So I've got strong back up to the point where even if I'm fully weighted down, I can fast travel. And the perk point before that allows you to use your action points to run even when you're over encumbered. So a lot of times it'll be a burst of speed, do some fighting, okay, slowly walk around looting, stop for a little bit, okay, I'm looted everything in this area, now stop, let my AP come back up, hey, good, Nuka-Cola Quantum or something like that if need be, okay, ready to go to the next one, just walk. So between my power armor and stuff, I just walk through Trinity Tower. Yeah, the mutants are kind of annoying, but overall it was mainly just stabby. Let's kill all the mutants. I did free Rex and Strong. I'm probably not going to journey much with Strong. He's not a character I really want to play with this character. I'm probably just going to dump him somewhere. Probably I currently have Sunshine Tiding Co-ops. I've put a robot workbench there and built 2 robots just to garden some mutt fruit and a few things. So I'm probably going to send Strong there and just be like, here, you stay out of trouble. If I ever see the milk of kindness, I'll tell you. Like I said before, Dogmeat is my assigned companion, and Curie is my love interest. I have not gotten her yet. But when I get, I'll journey with her. In the meantime, I've been playing most of the followers. I've gotten Piper's perk. I've gotten McCready's perk, which I know there was some discussion on the Facebook group. The main way I do it is just get it to the point where he mentions you go through and get the cure for his son. And after that, just instantly go do the big dig. And when you finish that quest, if you do it right, that pops his affinity all the way to max, and you're done. So I've gotten his perk, and I think right now I'm back to journeying with the Codsworth, which you don't get. Like I said, I hadn't just went to Museum of Freedom, so I haven't done a lot with him yet. So I'm mainly kind of messing around with him, but I want to get Preston unlocked so I can journey around with Preston, because I really want to get going on becoming the general of the Commonwealth so that I can really play through that. So next, I believe, is intelligence for the public library. I got the quest to go there from Daisy. Speech, which is Park Street Station, to go get Nick. So I'll do that, and then Fort Hagen for energy weapons. I'll probably go get Dunwich Boars now, because that will help me unlock Preston. I'm going to probably do that first, then get Preston, and then take him through Public Library and Park Street Station. And then, since Nick is obviously robot and my character is not really liking robots, I'm probably going to dump Nick as much as I can once I get to Fort Hagen and go get Preston again. And that I'll play Preston through until I got him to the point where I can become the general. So we'll see how long that takes. I'm not going to get Nick's. Like I said, this character is not going to be a robot friend. I'm not going to get Nick's affinity up, at least not at the first. Maybe after the round table I might. But right now, it's not going to be until I actually meet the railroad that my character is going to kind of start changing his opinion of what Sins are. Right now, he sees everything he's heard about Sins, everything Piper's told him about the Institute. They're abominations. Okay. I haven't met Dance yet. I've avoided that, so I don't know anything about them yet. Don't know when I'll meet them, so to speak. So that's all in the future. I'm not worried about all that. I don't know how I'll play that, but my character this time, he likes the idea of rebuilding the Metaman, of helping the Commonwealth. I want to reset, bring back America. Yeah, America died a long time ago, but hey, I'm still alive, so that means we can bring it back. So I'm going to be a good guy. So that will help with some of my previous characters being so bad. All right, talk to y'all later.
There's something about Piper and knowing the censor and abomination. What faction would Piper join, Ray?
She wouldn't.
She would.
Maybe the Minutemen.
The Minutemen. But it definitely wouldn't be Railroad.
No,
Definitely not Institute.
no, not the Brotherhood of Steel. They're
Well,
too authoritarian for her.
If she thinks they're an abomination, she might agree with him there a little bit.
Fascists.
I never even thought about that. Fuck you, Piper. Oh gosh. No, great feedback, Leon. Elmer is a fucking cool name. One thing I never ask you guys, you say these cool names like Josh with Dexter, Leon, your cool name with Elmer. How do you guys come up with these names? What do you guys do? Ray, do you have like a list of names you go through, books that you liked or old TV shows? Where do you come up with names for your characters?
The names for my characters are all based on what kind of character I'm playing.
You do pun.
The only time I ever name a character is for the round table.
So, and a normal character that you're just testing other stuff out. What do you list? What does your data file say?
So it might say, evil melee, or I'm
gonna name my second child Evil Melee.
Sounds like a good band name.
Yeah. Thrash metal band here.
I had one where I was trying to figure out chems and how that works, and so it was chem test, and
it's like my great night
that vats with guns. So yeah, I'm the last person you want to take naming conventions from.
Ray, those are all great metal band names. Those are serious. Those are awesome.
But the thing is when you're going through the big giant list of characters, and you need to be able to sort them out.
That's a good descriptor. Yeah,
you're not going to remember who Elmer was.
Yeah, I have my old load file. Sometimes I go back through and load old characters and play just a little bit and remind myself why I stopped playing that character and all that. But that's a much better way, because I'm always have to, when I start a character, I'm out in the middle of nowhere, and I'm like, okay, wait, where the fuck did this character live? And I have to search around at the different settlements, oh, this character lived over here and stuff. But yeah, your way is much more descriptive and better.
Well, and it's cool that Leon's being able to cleanse himself of his last two characters, which were definitely on the dark side.
Oh, poor Leon, getting dealt the raw deal.
Random generator doesn't care.
Oh, hands you out what you don't want sometimes. He's using the horsepower armor. Has anybody gone to get that? Sarah, you can get the Creation Club stuff. Did you load up that the horsepower armor when it was free?
I actually did not. I actually wrote that down in my notes. What is horse armor, power armor? So I'm behind, apparently.
This really silly
Giddy Up Buttercup.
It's a power armor built out of old Giddy Up Buttercup parts.
Okay.
It was bright yellow. There's a certain perk to it, Ray. I think it makes you jump higher and run faster or something.
I don't remember. I haven't paid much attention to the Creation Club since it first started.
Yeah. Lee is really on top of that stuff. Lee usually writes some sort of update, or Steve. I always call him Steven. But Steve Carlson checks in with a lot of the Creation Club stuff. Sarah, I'm not sure how it works. If I know that they're free for a temporary time when they're on the featured page, but I don't know if they go back to costing after that, or if the ones that were free remain free forever or not. I'm not sure how that works, but I went ahead.
You may have to pony up for that armor.
Pony up, Ray.
That was.
You're terrible, Ray.
Can't help it.
So I can tell you they definitely charge again.
Oh, so, that stinks.
Yeah. If you miss it, you miss it. You have to wait until it comes back around or whatever.
I think it whinnies as well when something happens. I'm not sure if it's when you jump or when you get in it. Maybe it gives you a big horse sound effect. It's really kind of silly, but it's fun. It gives you a little quest marker to go to the vault. Is it the Vault Tech headquarters or something? I think you find it in, but not even a real quest. It's just kind of sitting there, and you can just walk in and grab it and run back out. Leon says he's doing like a half walk, half fast travel thing where he gets over encumbered, then he'll fast travel back home, and then walk from that back out. I try to do that stuff. I always get caught up in my fast traveling too much. But he also mentioned fast traveling while over encumbered. That's one of the perks in the strong back.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Is it?
I would love to have that. Or to being able to run while over encumbered or fast travel while over encumbered. That's a good.
There's nothing worse for me in a video game when I'm encumbered and slow down. It drives me nuts.
Yeah.
It drives me nuts. I will just drop just everything. It drives me insane.
In Skyrim, I used to I'm going to move my house. I'm going to get all like 20,000 pounds of stuff. And I'm just going to use that one shout that makes you run, that makes you go fast really quickly for a short distance.
Whirlwind sprint.
The whirlwind sprint.
Oh, yeah.
Good boy, Ray. So I used that shout, and then put on a bunch of clothes that made my magicka regenerate. Or no, my shout. There was like a necklace that makes your shout speed regenerate or something like that. I was going to make sure that happens. So. No, being encumbered sucks ass. Being able to run while encumbered, that's amazing. And it took me 2 years of playing Skyrim before I learned that you can fast travel on horseback while encumbered. So
what?
Yes. Be like, if you hop onto your horse, I would even get on my horse and ride places. But then I didn't know that while you're encumbered, if you hop on your horse, you can fast travel.
That is amazing. I didn't know that. Wow.
You mentioned McCready's relationship. I had a long, hard slog getting McCready to be my lover man, but here we are, happily ever after. He's kind of a dick, but he's kind of funny too. I've been testing out how this lover's embrace thing works, and I thought, oh crap, he's in my settlement, and I went to sleep on the mattress, and I woke up, and I didn't get the lover's embrace perk. I was like, oh, that stinks. So I guess he must have to literally be following you, be actually your companion in order for that to kick in. But then I went and slept by a mattress near where he was standing, and then it did kick in when he was not my actually loaded companion, when I actually had dog meat as my follower. So I think it has something to do with the proximity of where if you sleep like right next to them, near them, you know what I mean? If they're near a bed and you sleep in it, then they'll get into it with you. But I was sleeping in a mattress that was way on the other fucking side of Sanctuary, so it didn't cash it in or whatever. But McCready is my guy now. I'm really happy about that. He said something disgusting the other day. We're like getting up out of bed and he's like, ooh, I didn't know Dandy Boy apples could taste so good or something.
Oh.
It's like, what?
He really said that?
That's something weird like that. I was like, oh my goodness.
So weird.
Inappropriate. I don't know what he's implying. I do, but children are listening. The Hellfire power armor. Does anybody know what that is? He mentioned Hellfire power armor. I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is either. I was going to ask. Maybe it's another Creation Club.
Could be.
Yeah, it's definitely a Creation Club item. I remember that's one of the first ones that was in there.
Oh yeah. I just started checking it regularly the last month or so. And so thanks a lot for your feedback there, Leon. Aaron mentioned the mind fog stuff over here on the YouTube. I'd like to say hi to Wendy and the Burning One. I'm not sure actually what your name is, sir, but thank you guys for hanging out over there in the YouTube chat. Jeremy was over there as well. Thanks again for your Twitch run, Jeremy. Good stuff. Wendy was mentioning she's a big Mindfog fan, and she was really concerned that if you were actually going to do a play along for this whole season, she was like, "Oh no, does this mean that Mindfog is dead?"
Yeah, I get emails every once in a while. Are you still doing these? And I'm like, well, it's a good question. I mean, in my head, I'm still doing them, but the record would show otherwise. But yes, I am. I have every intention of keeping going. So it's just I'm kind of stuck right now. I sort of half wrote an episode and just was totally not happy with how it turned out, and so I just haven't gone back to it. At some point I will get back to it, and once I figure out, you know, what I'm gonna do.
That can be a little bummer when you hit a roadblock like that.
Yeah, and instead of just sitting down and actually just working my way through it, I just haven't gotten back to it. But I definitely will. It's just I gotta just do it. So
yeah. Well, you know, in order to write a good piece of work, you gotta do rewrites and stuff, you know. So chin up.
Rewrites.
yeah. Sometimes, man, you gotta punch stuff up a little bit.
Yep.
Well, we love your show. Everybody out there, please go check out Mind Fog. Aaron, I know that you have to be up early in the morning, so I'll let you have an out here if you wish.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Thanks for doing the Twitch run for us again, and everybody go please check out Mind Fog. Follow him on Twitter.
Yeah, thanks, Aaron.
Thank you. All right, good night, everyone.
All right, bye. All right, now we can spoil the shit out of everything.
Yes.
All right. Did you guys have any thoughts on Leon's feedback before we proceed?
I think we beat that dead horse.
Can we stop it? Terrible. All right, Craig, our good buddy Craig, who sent us along with Leon and Steve feedback all season long for the New Vegas roundtable. Craig's checking in with Zarna. Gosh, that's another interesting name I'd like to know the background of. What is Zarna? Is that a reference to something?
Not that I know of, but it's cool.
Yeah, good name.
Hello, Fallout Feed. Craig here with the further adventures of Zarna Bishop. After leaving the vault for the second time, I finally made my way to my old house. I heard a familiar voice saying my name. It was Codsworth. He had been tending to the house, though poorly, for over 200 years. We searched the neighborhood together for hostiles and ended up cleaning up a few mutated bugs. This place could be home again. Codsworth suggested that I head into Concord, so I did. On the way, I found a dog who decided to tag along. I ran into a group calling itself the Minutemen that were being attacked by raiders. On the desk of the room that they were in was the Perception bobblehead, so I scooped it up. I thought at first that they could help me, but they can't even help themselves. They had another chem addict with them. No one really liked her doing the chems, so I think they might cramp my style. I solved their little raider problem with a suit of power armor on the roof. I even got toe-to-toe with a Deathclaw. But in the end, I left them arguing about coming to my settlement. If they even make it there, so be it. But I'm not going to invite them. Preston got a lot of people killed, and I don't want to be one of them. I headed back to Sanctuary and swapped out the dog with good old Cosworth. We were searching for some food and found Abernathy Farm. They had a raider problem as well, so I decided to help them out. I got to lock it back for them. I caught wind of another bobblehead, the repair bobblehead, in Corvega, so I headed there and took out some more raiders and headed to the roof and found it. So 2 down. I ended up finding a flyer for Slocum Joe's franchising, so I headed to the corporate headquarters to see if anything was left. I now have the plans to build my own donut shops. That's just what the wasteland needs, right? I decided to go seek out Good Neighbor since I was running low on chems. This is where I met McCready. He seemed a little sturdier than Codsworth, so I sent Codsworth home and hired this guy as a new gun. We cleared out some warehouses for the bartender in the third rail to earn some extra money and picked up a few more jobs in town. While I was downtown, I got a distress signal from Trinity Tower. This guy was being held prisoner by super mutants. I better help him out. Hopefully there's a reward. So McCready, Fred, and I headed to Trinity Tower and found it crawling with super mutants. I cut through them all with my trusty sword, General Chow's Revenge, and worked my way to the top where I killed their leader and let out Rex and his weird super mutant friend named Strong. Inside their cell was the melee bobblehead. Rex Goodman gave me a nice dress as well. As I was leaving the building with Strong in tow, I picked up another distress signal talking about being attacked by hostile robots. I should probably go check that out, but that's a story for another time. All right. See you in the Commonwealth.
Man, he needs to go check out those I actually got the robot thing a while back. I need to go check that out too, because I need to set up the fucking robot workbench so I can start getting into those locked doors. Because like Josh mentioned in his feedback, he doesn't like to be locked out of stuff. I don't like being locked out of stuff either, but I always hate wasting perk points in hacker and lockpick. So I always wait until I do the robot. What is that called? Fucking automatron. And then I can make a robot. I make 2 robots, one that does hacking and one that does the lockpick. And then I, try to remember where the good doors, those master lock doors were ever. But those robots don't even guarantee you to get into a master lock. Sometimes they're just like, well, fuck it. I couldn't do it either, man. It's like, oh, shit. Sorry, robot. You guys have thoughts about Craig's feedback? Did he say he left the vault for the second time?
Yeah.
I guess he died.
I feel like that was a very important thing to go do first. Get the donuts going.
Yes. Got to get the coffee up, get the donuts going. Mm-hmm. Got to get the blood going with some sugar. Mm-hmm. I'm interested in that donut shop as well. There's definitely some cool buffs and perks and stuff you can make with all the the baked items and coffee beverages. I guess it's sort of similar to Nuka World, how they have all those crazy new beverages that do different things. Pretty cool. I want to check it out though. He said he insulted Codsworth's ability to upkeep the town. How dare you, Craig? Dare you. All right, Craig. Thanks for writing in, sir. Let's check in with Steve.
Kia ora, Steve, the American expat here in New Zealand with my Fallout bobblehead episode 1 play along. So Sid came out of the vault and he started searching for any alcohol and chems in Sanctuary Hills. He found some. He also found the special book and added 1 to his agility, and between some bloat flies and rad roaches and then some mole rats and rad rats at the Red Rocket, he got himself to go up to level 9 in agility. Yeah, the rad rats were there because of a mod I installed, Crazy Safari by Govno Writer, that adds DLC creatures to the Commonwealth. So that's pretty cool. They had a skull on them, on the name, so he had to keep running around the Red Rocket and pinging him with the 10mm, but it worked. He got him down in health, and so then he ran into raiders in Concord and picked up a handmade revolver and a switchblade. The switchblade is going to be my weapon of choice for a while. He also located a sea captain's hat and greaser jacket and jeans, which he is still wearing many, many, many levels later. Yep. Went into the Museum of Freedom and met up with Spanky Preston and the Hour Gang. Crazy Mama Murphy may have had a line on some chems, so he pretty much told them what they wanted to hear and grabbed the Perception bobblehead. Pre-war didn't have Jet, but he started to learn what a hell of a drug Jet is. You can do some crazy shit on Jet. So yeah, pretty much going through the normal storyline, leveling up, taking Blitz at level 3. All right, Blitz is pretty OP. Well, maybe not OP, but it is melee unarmed on steroids. So it's pretty good, kids. So he went... took everybody back to Sanctuary Hills, and then he got sent to 10 Pines and went out to Corvega and got the repair bobblehead on top of the Corvega there, and took a level in intelligence and also went up in blacksmith and luck. I'm just going to go through the regular storyline so I can get to my faction, the Institute. I did sneak over to the library and grab the intelligence bobblehead over there. I'm trying to get intelligence up high enough so that I can take chemist and get my chems lasting longer. Particularly the jet. It'd be nice to have a little boost there in the slow time. And I never usually go into the library. I don't know why. So it was kind of interesting. I just don't normally. I normally skip around that place, but so it was seemed kind of new to me. I'm pretty sure I did it on my first character a couple of years ago. But the intercom's funny. Does anybody else collect the overdue books? Are there any rewards worth getting? It didn't really look like it to me. I went up and returned the overdue books. Is there someplace else in the Commonwealth I should go to get rewards? Otherwise, it's just like some food, right? Anyway, I'm still sticking with the special every even level and a perk every odd. I added bloody mess and toughness and medic with some nice good general perks there, and as well as added strength and charisma and the intelligence I talked about, getting me to intelligence level 6. At level 7 I can take chemist. Yep. So far I have a psycho addiction, which gives me a damage resist -10 and strength -1. I also have a jet addiction, which is agility -1. I have a mentats addiction, which is charisma -1, and a buff out addiction, endurance -1 and strength -1, and also a alcohol addiction, agility -1 and charisma -1. I'm only level 11. 73 chems taken, 4 crafted. Have to get that up. Only 2,842 caps right now. So what's a good number of caps to shoot for? I want to be a jet king. How many caps should I be looking to make? 100,000 more? 200,000? Cool mill. How many caps does a chem kingpin need to be rolling around with to be considered a shot caller? I never really racked up the caps, so this is new to me too. Thanks everybody, and I'll see you in the wasteland.
Well, I'll tell you the first thing, Sid, what you're doing wrong. If any solid businessman / drug dealer will tell you that if you actually want to make a large amount of caps in a short amount of time, you cannot dip into your own stash, Sid. It sounds like with your psycho / jet / mentat / buff out / alcohol addiction that you might have a problem dipping into what you're dealing there, buddy. So the first thing is, if you're making a bunch of chems and you're dealing, sounds like you're aiming for that chemist perk, buddy, you got to lay off this stuff, right? If you want to earn the caps, because that's your selling point right there. If you're picking up bullets that you're not using, you can sell those. That's fine. But the real money is if you're in that chemist perk and you're making those really powerful, expensive chems, right?
He's got to make his money in t-shirts.
T-shirts. Well, if you look at he must have spent a crap time.
He did a fantastic job of
time on his character. His character creation looks exactly like fucking Sid Vicious. It's amazing. And then he took a picture of his character on the couch with, I don't know, how did he do that? Who was it wasn't his follower. Was it a settler who was on the couch with him? Was it?
I think it was Nora.
Sanctuary?
Yeah, it was Nora.
It was before the bomb drop. That's right.
Oh, yeah. That's right. That's right.
But yeah, he looks like Sid Vicious. Nora looks like Nancy. So it's fucking cool. He's playing a really cool role. He's got all his all of his chems going, and he's having fun. What is his attack thing? Does he say he was stabbing? He said because he's blitz. He's used jets and blitz, and he said it was OP, right? Yeah.
Yeah, well, he's not too OP because he's using a switchblade, which is that's one of the lowest powered knives you can get.
But you get so many shots with if you get your AP up, you can like fill up.
You get just as many with a combat knife.
Do you?
Yep.
You don't get more swings with a switchblade?
No, they're both fast.
Is there a very fast or as fast as they go?
I'll have to look at that.
I don't even know. I can't imagine anything going faster than a switchblade, though. What about that little hand chainsaw thing? That thing's pretty fucking cool. The Ripper, or whatever that thing's called. That's awesome. Yeah, so Sea Captain's hat. I didn't get that as much.
It's a +2 endurance.
Does he wear did Sid Vicious wear a Sea Captain's hat? Was that a thing? But the greaser jacket, totally, look, it's very appropriate. When he picked that up, I was like, oh, is that a Adam Cats thing? But I'd forgotten about the greaser jacket.
Yep.
That's pretty cool. Good job. Really, really good job on that, Steve. Ray,
yeah, so the switchblade's only fast. To get very fast, you have to get into the Rippers. And the one that's in Far Harbor is the Harvester.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the one that has the stun damage.
Oh, that's a really good perk. Yeah. I always overlook that one and think, whatever. But when I actually use it, it's really cool.
Yeah,
it's a good one. He mentioned all the drawbacks for being addicted to all those things. His character is fucking crippled, just on all basic by his addictions, right?
Yeah.
You can't go negative, right?
He's damn well gonna try.
Because I think every single one was like -2 agility.
Yeah, that's just saying if he was dealt a 5 agility, it was taking -2 away, so he's down like knocked to a 3. But I don't know. I didn't follow along his actual special deal. They can't knock you below 0, Steve? Can they? Did they? How close are you?
You can go over 10.
Let us know. You can go over 10. That's right.
True. If you are negative in any of the perks, please take a picture and post it.
I'd like to see that. That's funny. Speaking of going over 10, Ray, I took this night person perk. I'm up over the second bump, the second star there for night person. Then the second bump gives me a +3 in, I believe, intelligence and perception. That's pretty sweet. Pretty sweet stuff. I like this round table roll stuff, guys. I wouldn't figure out all these cool perks that I would never, ever use otherwise. Night person? Who the fuck is going to use night person? But when you do, it becomes pretty cool. Ray, did we have some emails? Do you still have those open?
We did.
Okay.
Yep.
Wendy, you're so awesome for writing in some emails. You're hanging out in the YouTube chat tonight. Thanks so much for hanging out. You said you were going to try to send in an audio clip, but you couldn't figure out how to set it up. Wendy, don't sweat it, but if you just have like sort of a voice memo app on your phone, you can just talk into your phone, record it, send us that file if you want. It doesn't gotta be fancy. You don't gotta set anything up or whatever. Pretty sure it's already on there. But right, let's go ahead and check in with Wendy's email.
Look it out. Dear Fallout friends, I was going to give you a voice recap, but started to watch The Leftovers and didn't figure out how to set it up. Promise the next roundtable I will deliver. Charles has been having a bit of a rough time after waking up and faffing about Sanctuary for a while. He finally made it into Concord, where he helped out a group of settlers holed up in a museum. The place was full of so much junk that he just indiscriminately grabbed everything he and his dog that he met could carry. They came out with all manner of stuff, but nothing remarkable. Well, aside from a group of people who were as damaged as he was. He's gotten to know them very well, although he wants to find out if any of them are candidates for auditioning for his band. Speaking of the band, Charles found a couple of places that he might be able to get a gig. First, he came upon an abandoned drive-in and movie theater that he could imagine as an outdoor concert venue. This reminded him that there was a band shell on the Esplanade across the river. He'd have to remember to swing by there and see if they were hiring. After clearing out the drive-in, Charles found a diner up the road What a perfect place to play a couple of sets and regain his chops. He put on his vest and slacks, tied his hair back, and headed up to talk to the owner about it, booking a date. As he got closer, he had heard an argument between the dealer and the owner. Both of them wanted him to help them out, but he decided that he would try to negotiate a peace settlement. What's a nightclub gig without a little bump? Turns out the club owner was hell-bent on a clean place and wouldn't play ball. Rather than give up either, he ran off before tempers boiled over. He'd be back, and maybe they would have calmed down, or someone else would have sorted the situation out. Preston sent Charles to talk to some people up north, and they, for some reason, were worried about some raiders holed up in Lexington. Charles set out to deal with the situation. He cleaned out the factory and then ended up getting ambushed on the way out. And his only fusion core was about to give up. He was able to get away with maximum loot and enough health to get back to Sanctuary. After a little more acclimatizing to the world and acquiring a baseball bat with blades nailed to it, he finally was able to stop running away. He found a crazy suit of power armor made out of giddy-up buttercup parts that he just put on display at home. He could get a Halloween gig where he would wear it as his costume. Coming out of the toy factory, he heard a distress call coming out of Trinity Tower. It's hard to know if it was a curiosity or chivalry that drove him to enter the building to face a battalion of super mutants. He and Codsworth fought their way to the top, where they rescued some radio personality and his crazy super mutant that the actor somehow captivated with Shakespeare. Charles and Codsworth helped the unlikely couple escape. Charles will give the guy a chance to recover and then pay him a visit to his radio station once he has a demo in hand. There was a little collectible bobblehead in the cell where Rex and Strong were being held. It's cute. Maybe when he finds Sean, he can give it to him. He never got to give him a birthday present. He found another one at the top of the Corvavica factory, too, when he went back to scavenge for more scrap to help out the folks in Sanctuary. Maybe there'll be a bunch of them, and he can give Sean one for every birthday he missed. Wendy.
That's a really nice thought of collecting those bobbleheads for Sean. That's a good motivating factor. That's cool to work that into the story like that, Wendy. Good job.
Makes me sad.
Oh.
I actually have a question.
Yeah.
Am I the only person on Earth that kind of likes Strong? Because it kind of sounds like everyone thinks he's annoying.
No, I love Strong. Strong's great.
Okay. All right. I love him. He's so sweet.
He's a
good guy.
Does some good things.
As long as you can keep him from eating people.
That's true.
Well,
I find it difficult to make sense of what he likes and dislikes, though. I mean, I eventually get him to, max affinity or whatever, but I always have to look up what he likes because I do something I'm like expecting him to like, and it's like Strong dislikes that. And I'm like, well, what the fuck, man? So I test stuff out and always mess it up, get it backwards. And then I eventually recruit all the followers to one location. Then anything you do, everyone's always reacting and gasping, and like half the people love it, half the people hate it, and it's just like everyone's like, Strong loved that, and McCready hated that. It's really, pops up all those notifications all the time. I like, Wendy, the idea of Charles going to a Halloween gig in this horse power armor, and I want you to tell me all about that when that happens, please. Where's this gig gonna be? Ooh, perfect creepy location Halloween gig. That elementary school with pink slime food. What is that? That's not Malden.
It's
I don't remember.
Suffolk
County School or something like that. Yeah. Go. Can you do a school for a Halloween pro? Does he perform for children? Charles with
no, he's got to go to the Boston Preparatory School where that band of raiders that Kessler wants you to clear out. They've got the TV camera, stage, the whole 9 yards there.
Oh, perfect.
In that section. Yeah, it's all set and ready to go. You just have to clear the bones and the dead bodies off the stage and you're good to go.
Yeah, Wendy, get on it. Or the comic book factory also has a TV studio set upstairs, right?
Yeah.
That's the comic book factory.
Comic book. Is that where the
Silver Shroud?
Silver Shroud, right?
Yeah, and the Grognak costume, I believe. Nice. Yeah, you got all sorts of gigs all over town to play, Charles. And I'd like to hear about every single one of them. Sounds good. She's got a bladed baseball bat. That's fun. Wendy in the chat was mentioning her sort of past with Fallout. She's been playing the game since day one, Fallout, the original Fallout. The ISO, like the top-down ISOs or whatever, right? She's been playing a long time. Her husband, his favorite is number 2, and he gives her a hard time that she likes 4. He makes fun of her for it.
Wow.
She's a poser or something because she likes Fallout 4. That's funny. Again, Wendy, thank you for an awesome email. Colin sent in some feedback here. We've got one more email from Chris, but we'll go ahead and check in with Colin here, and then Chris, your email will come. We'll check in with you next there. Colin, hi Billy.
Guys. It's Colin again. I just thought I'd send in some more feedback on the recent episode, what Billy's been up to since the last episode after we grabbed a few bobbleheads and done a few quests. Not much has been done. We've in quest wise, she's currently level 32, and she's been increasing her stats. So she did have it was given. I'll give you a second. Let me change that. Her stats when she started off was a strength of 9, and I think it was a perception of 1, endurance of 5, charisma of 1, intelligence of 8, and then agility and luck of 2. But I've been making some increases to that. So strength I've left alone. It's still 9. Perception is now 2 because we got the bobble head. Endurance is still 5. Charisma is now 6 because I wanted the local leader perk because I was doing all the Minutemen quests. So I wanted to be able to join them all up. Intelligence is 9 because I used the book for that. And agility is 4. And now luck is 4, and that's to get the the perks that I needed. So the perks. Now I didn't do any of the like pre-selecting all my perks beforehand. So this is kind of like I just took whatever I wanted to take at a particular time. So I just randomly throw perks out. So far I have 4 ranks in Iron Fist, which was one of my assigned perks. So I got 4 ranks in that. I was using the knuckles for quite a long time. The iron knuckles, I think it was. And also in strength, I have 3 ranks now in blacksmith. So I was running around with the bladed knuckles, and they were doing a lot of damage up close. And also in strength, I've got the level 9 perk Rooted, which is like damage resistance and deal 50% more damage with melee and unarmed. So I've only got 2 ranks in that, but I've got to wait till I get to like level 40 before I can take the third and last. In perception, my perk was supposed to be pickpocket. I've put none in that and have done 0 pickpocketing. I think everybody knows what I'm like with pickpocketing, no matter what game I'm playing. Endurance, I've not increased, and I haven't put any of my perks. My assigned perk was Lead Belly. That was it. But I haven't taken any perks on that yet. Charisma, I've increased up to level 6, and then I've taken 2 points in Local Leader to do my settlement building. Intelligence is now 9. I have taken 1 rank in Medic, which is what is my assigned perk. I've taken 1 in Science. That's it for Intelligence. I usually take a lot more in Intelligence, but that's the only 2 I've taken in that. And then in Agility, I have put 4 ranks into Sneak, although that's not my assigned perk. My assigned perk was Mr. Sandman, which I have 3 in, all 3 so far. So there's only 3 ranks now. I have all 3. The reason why I put so much into Sneak is to help with Mr. Sandman, which is now I can kill somebody sleeping, which I still haven't done because I haven't found anybody that I wanted to kill sleeping. I found a couple of other people lying around sleeping that I could have killed, but I didn't because I'm not Ray. But also with that, my silenced weapons now do 50% more sneak damage, which is good because I've got a silenced 10mm. I just picked up Deliverer, but because I've got no perks in Gunslinger, it's not very powerful. So my automatic 10mm does more damage, and it's a normal 10mm. It's not a legendary one. And I did find a legendary pipe rifle that's now got a suppressor on it, and it's one of the 2-shot ones, so it shoots a second projectile. So that one's very nice. I have that as my sniper rifle. And let's see, in luck is now up to level 4 also, and I've got 2 ranks in Mysterious Stranger, which is my assigned perk. I've only recently taken those because I didn't think I'd like it, and then I took them, and yeah, I don't like it. He's Poxy Kill Stealer. That's what he is. I went in power armor, hand to hand against the Deathclaw in inside the witch's place, and I was just about to kill it by backflipping it or something like that, something awesome and cool with me and Strong, and then he comes out of nowhere and steals the kill. That's just effing rude. So yeah, he gotta go. That perk sucks. And that's all the perks I have. That's pretty much everything. As with what I've been doing, as I said, I've only been doing mostly the Minuteman quests. Well, not Minuteman quests. I've gotten as far as taking the castle. I think that's as far as you can go without getting into the main quest. The quests I have completed are all just clearing the way and like redoing things. So yeah, so I've done Out of Time when Freedom Calls, the First Step, Sanctuary, Order Up, which is the Drumlin Diner, and then the rest are all just clearing out Hangman's Alley, Oberlin Station, North Hagen Beach. That place sucks. It smells really bad. Goal problem at Somerville Place, and then I've just recently done Curtain Call, where we got the melee bobblehead, and I also picked up Strong and took him as my follower because I want his perk. I'm halfway there towards getting him to full idolization. Just finished Old Guns, so I can get the got the name of them now. What is it? The big guns, basically, at the castle. So you can artillery. There we go, artillery weapons. So I'll be able to blast the show people, which I used in the next quest, which was the Devil's Due, which is where you go to the Museum of Witchcraft, and I had that poxy little kill stealer come in and take all my glory. And I used that against the Deathclaw that was at the nest. So I could pick up my brand spanking new weapon for my Iron Fist character, which is the Deathclaw Gauntlet, because I have 3 ranks in in Blacksmith. I was able to put the extra prong on there as well. So that's now knocking out about 160 odd damage, I think. That's not even from sneak. So once she gets into sneak, what she's wearing is a few legendary items, but the main one is that she's wearing the Grognak costume as well. She picked up that by clearing out there for one of the settlements, saying that the ghouls in there are coming out giving them problems. I don't think so. But she went in there, got Grognak's costume, but she couldn't get the axe because that was locked in the cabinet and she has no lockpick perks. And she has Agatha's dress. I've also got the black rim glasses, not the fashionable glasses. They also give a +1 to charisma because she doesn't want to look like a douche. So that's why she doesn't wear the fashionable glasses. And was it the militia hat? And she's now wearing the sea captain's hat for her endurance and the militia hat when she wants charisma. And weapons is pretty much the only one. Yeah, so she's got deliverer but doesn't use it because it's not very powerful. What she's going to be using a lot of is the artillery smoke grenades, the flare guns. She's got General Chow's Revenge as well as our melee weapon. And then the Deathclaw Gauntlet for her, hand-to-hand combat. I'm trying to think if there was anything else. That's about it. Oh, she just started. Oh yeah, the reason why I have delivery. Yeah, she just started the railroad. She was procrastinating quite a lot because she was worried what would happen if she started making herself known to the Institute, things like that. So she kept on putting off doing anything that would make her stand out, apart from obviously helping out the Minutemen. And then suddenly she went, all right, fine, and she went off and done the castle quest. And once that went well and nothing really bad happened, she thought, well, maybe they're not going to do anything. Maybe they're waiting to watch and see, as they usually do. So she went off and joined the railroad and see if they could help her out or anything like that, or see what she could learn, maybe get some information from there, and offer it up if everything goes wrong. So yeah, that's pretty much how Billy's been getting on. Hope you all enjoy yourselves, or you're all enjoying your playthrough. And thanks for listening. And I'll speak to you all next week. Cheers, guys. Bye.
I just forgot to, off the top of the show, remind everyone that this episode of the Fallout Feed is brought to you by the Tourist Bureau of beautiful Nordhagen Beach. So proceed to Nordhagen Beach. Visit nordhagenbeach.org.com. I don't remember which it is, but there's a very nice pamphlet. Nordhagen Beach is the best location in the game. Right. Okay. Thanks. I'm glad we got that settled. Do you guys have any thoughts off the top here with Colin's character, Billy?
I can't believe he doesn't like the Mysterious Stranger perk. I mean, I get it. Kill Stealer.
I love it. It's one of my favorites because even though you have an 85% shot with VATS and you have 6 shots of VATS left and he only needs 5, the fucking VATS fairy is going to come take 2 of those shots away from you, and you're going to be short for like one tiny fraction of an eighth of an inch of life for that opponent. And I always fall a little tiny bit short on the and then he comes and bails me out because otherwise I'm screwed because I can't hit the broadside of a barn shooting from the hip. So I love me some Mysterious Stranger.
How does the Mysterious Stranger perk work if you are using VATS with a melee character?
He'll just hop in and he just exactly the same. If you run out of hits with your melee character, though, the only problem is you're standing close enough where they're going to start swinging at you immediately. You know what I mean? But the good thing about VATS is the Mysterious Stranger will kick in automatically before VATS kicks off. So your opponent will still be in like that weird slow motion thing, you know?
Yeah.
It would be cool if he popped out when not in VATS. Shooting from the hip. There should be a mod. Shooting from the hip, Mysterious Stranger.
I think that every once in a while he should just come up and high five you. Just.
I want his coat. Does he have a cool gun? What kind of cool perk is on that gun? I want to go get it. I
don't think it's it's not as cool as the one that's in Fallout New Vegas.
No, you like the Stranger there more?
Yeah.
Well, I think he's pretty cool. He's a good guy. He's welcome in my game. Colin does not use his pickpocket. It's a tough one, Ray. Do you ever use that?
Nah, not really.
The Skyrim Poisoner. That's the only time I've ever really tried to incorporate it into a game. You know what I mean?
And in this one you can put hand grenades in their pocket.
That is fucking cool. But very tough to pull off if you don't have like a really high sneak as well. The thing about pickpocket is you also have to have your sneak perk really, really blasted up. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's tough otherwise. What else was he talking about? The killing people while asleep. That is one of my things about that perk, Ray. How many times,
Mr. Sandman?
Yeah, how many times in the game do you stumble upon people sleeping? And plus, that's also another perk that is extremely dependent upon your sneak being super high. Because in order to be able to get to the person still asleep in the first place, you got to be a fucking ghost.
I mean, it's a family of perks that support that sneaky play, and if you're not doing sneak and you're not doing silenced weapons, then you're not going to be taking those perks.
Silenced weapons, ninja, sneak. What's the killing people while asleep when Mr. Sandman? I did a one build. I said meat puppets again, right? Damn it.
That's Borderlands.
What are they called? Fudge Muppets. Is that what they're called? That doesn't sound right.
It is.
Okay. The Fudge Muppet build I did was that build. It had like the sneak and the Mr. Sandman and the ninja and all of that. It was fun, but that was way out of my wheelhouse. But again, how often do you stumble upon people asleep? That does not seem like a perk that is well worth an investment. You know what I mean?
Not for that. It does a lot of other stuff too, though.
What's it do?
It gives you a silent, right? If you have silenced weapons.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gives you.
Okay, well, I've got Deliver right now in my playthrough. That's what I'm using mainly for my pistol here is Deliver, and that's a silenced weapon. So
yeah, so it gives you extra damage on that.
Oh, nice. Even without being in sneak, because I have 0 investment in sneak either.
Yeah, no, it's just
great.
Just silenced weapon.
Nice.
Sarah, he kind of showed that he doesn't have much fashion sense because he likes those black rimmed glasses instead of the cool-looking fashionable glasses.
Did he say he had a choice of both? I thought he just said he didn't have the fashionable.
No, he said he didn't like them.
He
thought they made the character look like a douche.
Oh yeah.
So mean.
So like Elizabeth Taylor glasses or something, right?
I think they're cute. Always fashionable.
Yeah.
Somebody put a picture in. Who was that? Kurt Cobain?
Yeah, Kurt Cobain wore them back in the 90s, but they were like 60s Hollywood glasses or whatever. But that's funny we brought that up. Today is the anniversary of Kurt Cobain's death, I believe. That's funny. So, Colin, thank you for honoring Kurt Cobain's death by insulting his glasses. Good job.
I'm sure he's all broken up about it.
He mentions artillery, smoke grenades, and flares. He's using a lot of those in his game, and I love it. That's one of my favorite things in the game, is doing a really solid Minuteman playthrough and really getting into those artillery smoke grenades and the flares and stuff. So good. Sarah, have you messed with this stuff?
That was my next question. I haven't really played with them much. How do you like to use them?
Well, have you unlocked them?
Yes. Yes. Well, not in this playthrough character, but in my other character I have.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just takes a little bit for me to get used to, because like I mentioned with explosives, I'm not good at throwing stuff. But with these smoke grenades, at least they don't kill you when they go off. And they do alert your bad guys to their presence when you throw them, but it's not like an automatic, oh, we know where that came from. It's just like they start looking for you, so it's only a caution. It's not like it's a danger, like they know you're there. But they're great. You throw 5 or 6 of them into one settlement. You sneak up to like a settlement that's raiders or super mutants or whatever foe, and you just sort of scatter as quickly as you can. You get as close to the property as you can without being noticed, and then maybe quickly run into the property, throw like 5 of the things in a scatter pattern as wide as you can all across the whole settlement or location, and then bolt out of there as fast as you can and duck behind stuff and hide before people like notice you. They'll still be looking for you, but they won't like actually know where you are really. And now what you have done previous to doing this is the 5 settlements closest to this location, you have gone and hooked up an artillery cannon. And those each get like 5 or 6 shots per smoke grenade. So if you have 5 settlements, each shooting 5 shells, you're going to get like, 20 to 30 shells in this place, and it just obliterates fucking everything.
You're just going to kill everything.
Yeah. It's amazing.
Okay.
It's hellfire from the sky.
I'm totally on board with this.
I enjoy it.
Amazing.
Evidently in New Vegas, their equivalent was some sort of laser beam from the sky that I really wanted to try to do, but the prerequisite for getting the requirements for it were so fucking intense that I never actually did it. But I wanted Helios 1 or something, I think it was called, right?
Yeah, the Archimedes.
The Archimedes, yeah. Need to go back and try that. But I love it. Seriously, with Fallout 4, it's one of my favorite mechanics in the game. And the flares are also fun. That you just shoot the flares up in the sky, and of course, and that just summons a couple extra Minutemen who show up with their laser rifles. Sorry.
Yeah, I only used the artillery one time in my first playthrough. I was trying to kill the Brotherhood of Steel at the airport, and the paladins kept taking me out. And so I thought, oh yeah, I've got these smoke grenades. So I ran over to Nordhagen Beach and built 4 artillery stands.
There you go.
And then ran back over and threw the smoke grenades over the fence, and then ran away again. And all of a sudden, the place is on fire.
Yeah, it's wonderful. It's cool to watch it, especially if you don't have to fight. Like if they don't notice you, you know what I mean? Like if you can just sneak in and out without people noticing, you just get to sort of lean back and watch it all happen. It's really satisfying somehow. All right. Any other thoughts with Colin's feedback there? Thank you, Colin, so much for writing with Billy. Colin will be with us. Is it next? Yeah, it's next episode. Colin will be with us, and also Craig. Yes, Craig, who is doing feedback, and Colin. That'll be a Saturday recording session. next week, I believe, guys. I need to double check the calendar on that, but I think since Colin will be with us, we're probably doing it on Saturday afternoon. So that'll be fun with Craig and Colin. Craig, I forget, what are you doing? Science bobblehead run with the Twitch, and Colin's doing intelligence, I believe. Cool. Excited. Be a good show next week, guys. We got one more email from Chris. So why don't we check in with Chris, and then we've got Jeremy's feedback, and then we will bust on out of here for the evening. So why don't we check in with Chris's email there, Ray?
Hello. Well, hello again from Minneapolis. I'm submitting an email feedback this week. Hopefully, if it's not too late for this week's show. It's not, Chris. My last email had just had my role in the first 30 picks. So just to recap, I rolled a female. Her name's Maggie May. Her follower is Dogmeat. She has the slog for a settlement. Her romance is Curie. Her Commonwealth faction is the Minutemen. Raider faction is the Pack. And her special stats are Strength of 4, Perception 2, Endurance 4, Charisma 5, Intelligence 4, Agility 8, and Level 1. For perks, got Armor, Locksmith, Life Giver, Attack Dog, Vans, Ninja, and Scrounger. So we do all have Vans.
What's like, Ray?
My fairness factor is +4 if I did that right. I don't think so because I did it the same way. It's I believe it's -4 for Chris. Most were 1 or 2 points under my stat. The only perception needed to be +2 and luck +1 to get the assigned perks. I went to the standard start and backstory for Maggie May. Used the mod that puts the bunker in the backyard with the story of Nate planning for the future, not knowing that they'd have a spot in the vault. When she made it to Sanctuary, she set up a base in that bunker. Eventually, she went to Concord with Codsworth to rescue Preston and the others. Found the bobblehead and fell in love with the novelty of such a cute item in a harsh and brutal world. She decided she needed them all. After getting back to Sanctuary, Preston asked her to help with another settlement. She found helping others in the world was a calling. She earned her degree, her law degree, before the bombs fell, just for that reason, doing the most cases for almost nothing, if she charged at all. She headed up to 10 Pines Bluff and was asked to take care of some raiders. Her first attempt found herself severely under-armored. This is when she became a VATC power armor user with the hot rod paint job for agility bonus. Clearing out Corvega was easy that way. And what do you know? She found another bobblehead. When she got back to Sanctuary, a settler told her about some gunners that were causing problems. The next time they raided, I was there. One of them dropped some sweet combat armor. Yep, they are good for that. So using the Minuteman armor paint with the from the Creation Club, I embraced my role as the general. That's as far as I got this week. Had a hard time not building up my settlements. I spend more time doing that than exploring. I have some settlements, Rise of the Commonwealth, so hopefully that'll free up some of that aspect for me to hit the bobbleheads. Hopefully next time I'll have an audio feedback ready to go. Chris.
What's Rise of the Commonwealth, Ray?
That's one of the expansions of the Sim Settlements mod.
Of Sim Settlements? I didn't know they had expansions. What do the expansions do? Does it add quests?
Yeah, no, it adds different buildables.
Oh, nice. I was getting super fucking silly with my Sim Settlements. I built a multi-level tower where I dedicated one for each category, like I said in a previous episode. One for each build category for the Sim Settlements. And I noticed that they were locking with each other even after going off of the solid ground. So I just kept building them thinking that, oh, there'll be a floor underneath them automatically. But this is just, it just designates a build location. It doesn't actually put a floor underneath. I think there is an option to, but I was not pressing on that option. But I was building a large expansive area of building for these people. And every time I fast travel into that location, people reset at their, start point. But since there's no floors underneath them, there's multiple levels of people just who plummet to the ground because there's no floors underneath them. By whoever's a sim settlement, added NPC. It's really funny. It's just seeing the settlers rain down when you fast travel there. But it resets fairly rarely. I think it's only once every like 30 days will they reset back up at the thing, because I've only seen it happen like twice. Maybe it's more frequently than that. I'm not sure. Yeah. But I thought that was funny. Sim Settlements is fun. I'm just starting to try to be more responsible with it and sort of learn how to try to make it look good. Play around with it, you know what I mean? Because the first settlement I did, it was just a clusterfuck, and it looks very random and weird. But I'm trying to organize, like, the play area over here for recreation, and then all the residential together, and put the industrial way the fuck away, because no one wants to live next to that. You know what I mean? I'm trying to play with it a little better, get better with that. Chris, I like that you're a lawyer, a pro bono lawyer, doing the good deeds, good person. Of course, got dealt Vans, like everyone this season.
Yeah, good person didn't get stuck with Vans.
Yeah, poor Maggie May. Some sweet ass combat armor. Got the Minutemen paint. Yeah. Did he say that was
Creation
Club stuff?
Yeah.
There's gunner paint.
Yeah, those gunners are good for some good loot.
Yeah, that's usually where I get my first combat armor and my first combat rifle too. Those are like my favorite armor set and my favorite weapon. So I love trying to track down gunners early as possible. They got some good stuff, but they're kind of hard to kill at early levels. Cool, great. Thanks for the email, Chris. Jeremy, let's go ahead and pull up. Sarah, I forgot. Did you have any thoughts there before we move on?
No, you covered pretty much all of it.
Sounds good. Jeremy checking in with Wasteland Jeremy. He went ahead and did the Melee Bobblehead Twitch feed again. Thank you, Jeremy, for doing that. Twitch.tv ASA Podcasting.
Hello, Fallout Feed. This is Jeremy McDaniel checking in from Boston with my character Wasteland Germ.
He's from Boston.
Start out just reintroducing him a little bit, just going over my stats, stat update. Let's see here. I am up to level 41 now, total level. And I've added, I'll just mention my strength, my charisma, and intelligence. Those are my highest specials. And I've got my strength up to 8, charisma up to 8, and intelligence up to 10. The other ones are pretty low, but I've been using equipment to give me a plus bonus in those. Of the perks that I was assigned so far, the ones I've completed are armor, life, and life. I also have rifleman and medic that I've been doing a lot, and I'm nearly complete on those. Other perks I've completed are gun nut, scrapper, local leader, and science. So you can see, obviously, besides my assigned perks, I heavily did perks that influence my settlement making, because as the leader of the Minutemen and the general and my whole playthrough, I've been settlement focused. Also with my character and equipment, just a quick note I want to mention is I really have enjoyed having medic combined with a auto stim pack perked item, like a legendary item. It's just a great combo. I'd like to hear from the community if this is correct, but it does seem to me with medic, your stim packs become more powerful. Like, it's like 20% of your health, 40%, 80%, and it might go to full health at the end. But that auto stim pack combined with the medic, I'm assuming it's I'm at the point now I get 80% of my health from a stim pack. So basically, when I'm below 25%, it auto stims me to full health. Whereas if you didn't have the medic perk, I'm assuming it wouldn't full heal you when it distributes that auto stim pack. But it's a nice bonus between the two. I think it's a good combo, having that item and that perk. That I thought was a cool thing. So that's my character's update stat-wise, level 41, like I said. Some of the side quests I've been getting into, not assigned bobbleheads. In this past playthrough, I was getting into Automatron. I enjoyed that thoroughly. That was, besides Nuka World, that's the only other DLC I've completed. I really like that. I love the weapons workbench. It was a short one, but definitely pretty fun, not too tedious. And I really liked the final battle with the Mechanist. That was really tough. That was the first time I'm playing on hard. I've actually moved it up to very hard, but I died a lot of times in there before I could complete that. It was a good challenge. Got the Mechanist armor. Definitely not going to wear that. Don't want to look like a dope as the general of the Minutemen, so that's on a mannequin. It's cool armor, though. Another side quest that I enjoyed that I did was Diamond City Blues. Now, this is one where... well, also... I don't know if I believe Aaron from Mindfog is on tonight. And spoiler alert, I don't know how far in the game or if you've completed it yet. So if you haven't done the Diamond City Blues, earmuffs, but it's started in the Diamond City Tap House, I think in the upper district, the rich area, that rich people's bar. And you kind of started out by talking to Henry Cook, the bartender, and he has this interaction with this resident Paul Pembroke, and his wife's always going to the bar, and Paul thinks Henry's probably cheating on him with his wife or whatever. But it leads to a cool quest that the quest line's interesting because it's a small quest, but every time you go back to Diamond City, there's an extra part to it. And I didn't realize that. That was a nice treat. You know, you start out by kind of dealing with the confrontation between Paul and Henry. And then I believe I come back later and talk to Paul. And I'm not doing a good job explaining this shit. Sorry, guys. It's really cool. And it turns into where you kind of make them friends, or, you know, make them cool with each other by helping Henry Cook out with this drug deal that he's got the ins on. And you end up busting, kind of ruining this drug deal and stealing all the drugs. Oh, man. This is such a long quest the more I think about it. Anyway. I think I'll just stop going on and on about it. But it's a great quest because you do a little part of it and you go away and you think it's over, and then you come back to Diamond City and all of a sudden another person's talking to you about that same confrontation originally at the bar. You end up talking to Malcolm Latimer and finding out that the drug deal was headed up by Markowski, who lives in Good Neighbor. And then you learn about this hidden stash of Markowski's chems over in the 4-leaf clover factory. And then after, you know, clearing out the chems, you come back again later on, and all of a sudden Henry Cook leaves town at the end of this somehow after all the drug deal and just crazy stuff. And his daughter all of a sudden shows up in Diamond City, his daughter Colette. And so I'm just in Diamond City's Market Square, and some woman comes up to me and says, "Hey, do you know where Henry Cook is? I'm his daughter." And I'm just like, oh, this quest is so cool because it's just never ending. It just keeps going. It's really cool. I did a horrible job explaining that. Sorry. Diamond City Blues. Check it out. Tap House, Diamond City. I also did the castle. That was my first time doing the castle. I love the Minutemen. I've never gone too deep in the Minutemen, but I've always done a couple quests with them and always stopped at the castle. And so I finally have gone beyond the castle. I took the castle. It was a lot of it was fun. It was a little anticlimactic to me just because I'd done Nuka World, and I think it's Nuka Town, you know, that Quantum River. That place has a similar boss, the Mirelurk Queen. But castle wasn't too hard. It was fun, though. And it's a cool fort. I'm looking forward to it. I've been looking up YouTube videos of how to rebuild the walls and stuff. I'm going to take some time.
He actually sent to clips there. So that's probably where you break out and play the second one now.
Sorry about that. There's going to be a weird interruption. It's going to be 2 clips. My girlfriend called and stopped the voice memo. So I'd finished the castle, and next was the USS Constitution is the other quest I did on the side that wasn't assigned. I'd never done that before. It's definitely a fun one. I will, in my experience with it, I was playing the quest and I couldn't finish it because it bugged out. And I would just forewarn, if you are doing this quest, I believe it bugged out when I was originally going to side with the scavengers at first. And I was kind of like really in between, like, who do I want to side with? I like Ironsides, but I should help humans and I could get some loot. But I did end up siding. So when it bugged out, I sided with the scavengers and I told them I would side with them. And then I ended up completing the quest, but not siding with them, and I just went back on my word without going through the scripts of saying I was not going to side with them. And I think that's why it bugged out. So if you are playing the USS Constitution, stick to, when you are confronted by the scavengers, stick to the side that you say you're going to be on, or else if it's like me, it's going to bug out on you. But love that quest, love the ending of it. It's hilarious. And I love how optimistic Ironsides is. He's like, oh, that was great. Like, we're only 1 century away from being able to try it again. He's hilarious. He's very Darth Vader sounding. And also, obviously, I did the bobblehead quest. So the perception one, that's a pretty basic one. It is an experience we all tend to have early in the game. I didn't experience anything different or new or interesting in it, but I still maintain that I love that quest being early in the game, just because I think the introduction of the minigun and the Deathclaw is just it's awesome. It's a great way to just throw you into like how insane the game can be, or how cool it can be once you get to those higher levels or harder places. So got that early on, obviously, when I was joining the Minutemen. The second one was the repair bobblehead in Corvega, another one that I'm sure many of us go through in the early storyline. If you do any quests with the Minutemen, nothing too crazy or new with this one. I had a really cool kill cam with Jared, where I just tossed. He was looking for me, he didn't know where I was. He's like, "I'm gonna find you," and just tossed a grenade up and through the window in the room he is, and he's taunting me, and boom, he's dead. It was kind of funny, but. The only thing I did different on that with Corvega that from past times that I thought was cool was in other times I'd found that basement sewer entrance. And so this time I knew about it and I decided I'm going to enter instead of through the front doors where it's always, you're always seen and it's always a weird firefight at a long distance. I went through the sewers to start out and I felt like it was easier to clear all the rooms. I was less confused about where I was in the place. And also, if you enter through there, I believe someone will have to check me if I'm wrong, but I remember it happening this way, where I entered the sewers and I could see ahead of me or hear ghouls, and the ghouls are coming through the sewers and attacking the raiders that are living there. So you can actually walk up, and I kind of forget at this point because it was so long, but I kind of remember hearing them and be like, "Oh shit!" Like the ghouls are here, and I thought they might attack me. And I walked forward, and I saw they were being attacked by a turret and a raider or whatever. So that was cool. I like that. That was a little different. And lastly, with the Trinity Tower, that was a fun one, and my assigned follower is strong, so that was good to get him out. In my first playthrough of it, I used a lot of righteous authority and was a little more sneaky and a little slower and grabbed a bunch of junk. But then I got the privilege of Twitch streaming it for the ASA Podcasting Twitch, the Melee Bobblehead in Trinity Tower, also known as the Prudential Center or Prudential Tower. And on my Twitch stream, I stupidly didn't load up on ammo before broadcasting and realized I was low on ammo, but I had enough shotgun shells, and I just ran through it with a combat shotgun, drum mag, just blasting through them. I made pretty quick work of it. It was fun to do it that way, actually, just speeding through. I'm usually a little more cautious and grabbing shit, and it's kind of fun to just blast through them. That shotgun worked out really well against them. I'm curious if the shotgun, I have riflemen, and it seems like the shotgun is affected by riflemen, just because that seemed way too just effective for it not to be. Yeah, I think that's it. Thanks again for listening. Oh, I do want to say one last thing. On my character roll, I rolled a couple characters, mixed and mashed, and even changed some things to my own preferences. I am stretching myself, though. All of my assigned perks are ones I hadn't taken before. But Marcus's Excel sheet isn't messed up, so don't worry about that. Thanks, guys. Look forward to the next round and listening to the feedback. We'll see you in the wasteland.
Awesome. Thank you, Jeremy. Everyone check out his Twitch run. It's good stuff. He asked a couple of questions through there, and I jotted down a couple of notes before we get to my thoughts. Sarah and Ray, do you have any thoughts about Jeremy's feedback there?
I also love the USS Constitution quest. I love it.
But not the Constitution itself, Sarah? Come on.
Apparently not. Apparently not. I didn't side with the raiders or scavengers. Sorry, scavengers. So I don't actually know what happens in that quest if you side with them. I guess you just take them out. Is that what you do?
It's been so long since I've done that quest that I have like zero recollection of what happens other than the hat has a cool perk to it and it looks neat. I think it's a good hat that you get. What's his name? Ironside's hat. I think.
Oh, see, I side with him, so I don't think I get the hat. Do you get the hat at the end? Does he give it? No, I don't think he gives it to you.
But you get a different hat.
Oh, okay.
It's like a lieutenant's hat or something like that.
I think
when they get stuck in the taller building, you go up there after they get stuck, and he gives you a hat.
Wait a minute.
Go see him again. Yeah.
You can go into the taller building.
Oh, Sarah.
Oh my gosh. I was just like, well, that's done. Bye.
Yeah. Yep. You can go up there and you get the hat, and then you can use the captain's quarters as a player home.
Well, there you go. Sarah, learn to follow through on your quest, man.
The Diamond City Blues, that is a fun quest to do, and there's a lot of different ways that it can go, depending on who you push and who you side with. So, and you get a lot of chems out of that one.
Yeah, that's
I
the
like
drug one, right? Yeah.
That's a good one. I like that he brought that up.
And
yeah, Stephen will have to do that one because that's definitely perfect for Sid to do.
Yeah, right, yeah. And 4 hazmat suits, right? Those are, I love those things.
Yeah.
Or not hazmat suits. What are they called in this game?
Yeah, no, I think they're hazmat suits.
Okay, yeah. I think they're called radiation suits in Vegas, and they are in hazmat suits in this game. I think I could have that mixed up. I'm not sure, but yeah, if I love putting, I play dress up with my settlers, so I love getting those hazmat suits and giving them missile launchers and fat men with those hazmat suits. It just looks so cool walking around, and the astronaut space suits after you complete the Nuka World quest. After they're not quest locked anymore, you can assign those to settlers, and it's fun having astronauts walk around with fat men launching. It's pretty sweet.
And so his rifleman definitely helped him out with his combat shotgun. It's basically any of the rifle type weapons.
Even though a shotgun is not technically a rifle, rifleman in this game affects all, shall we say, long guns.
Yeah.
Not non-pistols.
Right. Non-pistols, non-automatic.
Non-automatic and non-energy weapons. It's ballistic long guns.
Yeah.
Rifles of all
So it will work with the Tesla rifle because that's still a projectile type gun.
Oh, that's right. I was going to say that's an energy weapon, but it's not.
It works with laser rifles, laser muskets.
Oh, it does work with that. Okay.
Plasma rifles, radium rifles, railway rifle.
That's amazing. I thought it wouldn't work with some of those. It does work with all that. Great. Yeah. So
anything that's not automatic.
That's cool, man.
And none of the big guns.
That's one I commonly take because I'm always using a combat rifle in my normal playthrough. You know what I mean? That's what I invest in highly. Corvega has about 10,000 ways to get inside. Ray, what's your favorite?
So the way he was talking about going through the sewer tunnel, that is a cool way. And if you can take that turret out without the ghouls, turning on you, then they'll go all the way into where the raiders are and start working them over too.
Yeah, you're fighting for you.
Mm-hmm.
I stumbled in there for the first time that way this time. This is the first time I think I've gone in that way. But then I also backed out and went in via like the route. Like you can go through the overpass, like Juan was saying, and just sit up there and snipe people. Or you can going through the sewer, going through the front door, going through the loading dock, going through this way and that way. And there's a couple different entrances on the roof itself. Pretty interesting. Good way to get in there.
So he said he was a level 41.
Did he say it was that high already?
He just gets so into the games because he did the same thing in the New Vegas. We were on the first episode and he was at like level 60 or something.
Yeah.
That is impressive. Jeremy. That makes my level 10 look pretty sad.
I'm in the mid 20s, I think, somewhere. Ray, what are you playing? Right?
I'm in the mid teens.
I think Pat's over 30 something already. Pat's most of the way through. I think he's got like half the bobbleheads already.
I think somebody else said they were pretty high up there too. Was it Leon? I can't remember.
It very well could be. Those guys are really good at gaming. I'm just watching Jeremy play. That is good. What the hip shot. That shit that I can't do. Jeremy's good at that shit. You can tell he's like a Twitch shooter or whatever that shit's called. He can hit stuff just moving the joystick around and just plink 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 plink, and he actually hits stuff. Whereas I miss left, then I miss right because I overcorrect, and then I just adjust a little bit more, and then I can hit him if he hasn't moved by then, which they always have. Ugh, I'm bad at it.
Are you streaming anything, Andrew? What are you streaming?
I will be the small guns bobblehead, which actually coincides with my deliverer play here. So that's about midway, a little bit later than midway through the season, I think. Jeremy mentioned it's awesome that in this game they just bust out with the death claw and the minigun and the power armor immediately. Ray, in past games, the power armor was an end game sort of thing. The minigun you didn't really use until later on. You made the Brotherhood of Steel and that sort of thing. Death claws. I mean, I guess you could technically go north out of Good Springs and go to that fucking pit and like get shredded by those death claws, but they were sort of tucked away a little bit more, at least way more than in this game. Does Fallout 4 hurt anything? Is it a good thing that they busted out with the end game stuff immediately? You know what I mean? Like they just give it to you right up front.
Yeah, I mean, I think it gives you a good, a good opportunity to, really get your blood pumping at the beginning of the game, get you into it. They give you plenty of chances to survive.
Do they give you enough of a reward of an end game, because those items in the previous games were the reward for having worked so hard and playing the game for so long. Now that we get our rewards right off the bat, which is sort of a nice representation of today's society anyway, we want our rewards right now. What is the end game reward, and is it better than
the end game reward is that you get to keep playing after you've finished the main quest.
The end game reward is people stop talking about that fucking kid.
Well, and as long as you don't take him with you to one of your settlements, because if you do that, then he'll just keep talking to you the whole game.
He'll give you a Wazel rifle.
He does give you the Wazer rifle. And he makes a lot of cool stuff. He does, he'll make gun mods for you and stuff. But yeah, just with the talking.
No, he's a good kid. I kid. Ironside's hat, I mentioned, I like that a lot. He's already been over to Nuka World. He said that Nuka World and he spoiled the castle because he did the Nuka World first and did the Nuka Lurk Queen or whatever, and then he went back and did the castle, what's only like a normal Mirelurk Queen. So it was like, oh, it was kind of a letdown. The castle was really easy. Mister, I'm level 68 now or whatever. The castle's fucking tough, man.
I was gonna say I struggled with that shit, but I was also early on.
It is. I mean, if you take these things, as they come in the just kind of straight up gameplay, you do end up in a lot of these places at really low levels because you don't really know any better. You're just playing the game.
Yeah, it's also what kind of draws you in. Like for me, going to Corvega so early in the game, the first time that I played, I mean, that was the quest that I was up until like 3 o'clock in the morning because I was just dying over and over again, and I had to figure out how to strategically go through it and get there and figure the game out. And so I don't know, it's those things that really draw you into the game because it's fun. You got to figure it out.
Yep.
Corvega, I really it really frustrates me that place. Like I get turned around and I think it's really tough, and I always stumble in there at too early of a level. And when Michael was volunteered to do his bobblehead, and he's like, yeah, I want to do the one over Corvega. Corvega's it's a really easy location, and I'm just like, what?
Yeah, I didn't think it was that easy.
Yeah, it just goes to show that I love playing video games, but I'm not a good video game player. You know what I mean? I'm not good at video games, but I have fun playing them. You know what I mean?
You're great.
And that's what they're for.
Yeah, you have very specific skills.
I have a specific set of skills. You're gonna make me launch into a Liam Neeson monologue here.
Exactly. I would have never known about the salmon roe and the chicken egg if it weren't for you.
Oh man, that's my favorite. That is my favorite thing. So I know that I say it way too much, but it's my favorite thing to bring up. I love that. And quest locked followers. That too.
Exactly.
Ray, he mentioned the automatron workbench, the auto stem pack thing. What was this auto stem pack from? Was that from a piece of armor or something?
It's a
power armor,
a legendary armor piece.
But he's not a power armor because that's also a power armor mod. I know.
Right? Yeah, you can build that. The on your regular armor, you can't build it. I think you have to. That's just a legendary.
And he mentioned the weapons workbench. You know what I just found out, Ray?
No.
I was bitching and moaning, going through, scouring for all of the locations all over the Commonwealth that have every crafting station type. I think there's 5 different main kinds of crafting. And I was like, oh man, I built my settlement. It's really big. There's almost 20 people there, so I feel like I've done a really good job of fulfilling my duties of getting a nice happy settlement. There are 85% happiness with 20 people there. I figure that's pretty good. So I've sort of abandoned them, and McCready and I have moved over to Sanctuary, and we have our own place going now. So what we have found, I needed all those building things, Ray. But through research on the internet, I found that there were 2 settlements that have all 5 of those crafting stations.
Yeah.
One of them is
Sanctuary and Red Rocket.
Fucking Red Rocket, 15 feet up the fucking road. How is that advantageous to anyone? Why would they do that? If they're gonna make it a Red Rocket, they should have made it one of the Red Rockets, like on the other fucking side of the map, like down by the Atom Cats or something. That
would have been helpful.
Why are they just literally less than 100 yards up the road? Why would they do that? That sucks.
Because they expect you to build your own by the time you get to those other
I'm not taking
areas.
Those local leader perks, and that was the big preventer, Ray. Right? Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm have second rank of local leader.
You have to have the second rank of local leader to be able to build these crafting stations, right? That is the only way, correct?
Yeah.
Wrong. I figured it out today, Ray. If you have the first level of gun nut and armorer, you can build those crafting stations at your settlement. I just saw them in my workbench today. I'm like, what the fuck?
Really?
Can you really?
If you have the first level of gun nut and the first level of armorer, you can build those workbenches at your settlements.
So is it only the stores that you can only build if you're level 2?
I guess. I don't know. Is there a...
Wow. That's perfect. I don't plan on taking local leader either because my charisma is so low. So that works out.
But someone else please confirm that for me, because make sure I'm not crazy, because I swear that I saw that and I was like, well, that's weird. But someone double check me on that if you can. I don't know.
According to the wiki, in order to build an armor workbench, you need 8 aluminum, 5 gears, 4 screws, 4 springs, 1 wood, and local leader rank 2.
Well, I'm gonna go look into that a little bit more, and I'll report back. I could be lying to everyone right now, but I think that I saw that. I don't think I have a mod or anything affecting that. I don't know.
Now there is some stuff that you can build with sim settlements.
Maybe that's it.
It shows up in there.
Maybe that's it, right?
They're different kinds of workbenches.
Okay, well, that might be it. Mystery solved, everyone. Let's see. Jeremy also mentioned settlement building, doing lots of that. He's looking up YouTube videos about how to repair the walls of the castle. I never thought of doing that. I always just set turrets inside the broken down walls to protect those areas. You know what I mean? He's actually going to build the walls.
Yeah.
That reminds me of Sherry putting on brand new roofs onto all the buildings in Sanctuary and repairing the walls, the holes in the wall and everything. I'm like, wow, you guys are motivated. Good builders. I never have the patience to do that. I just build.
Yeah, it definitely takes a little bit of time.
Yeah.
Stacking up the concrete blocks and sliding them into place.
Sarah, I know Ray's feelings on settlement building. Are you a settlement builder, Sarah? Do you invest time in?
I love settlement building. I love it. I've put roofs on the houses in Sanctuary. I've done floors. I've filled in holes, all that. It takes a lot of finagling.
Did you look up like the YouTube videos and stuff?
Oh, totally. Oh, I mean, the reason I'm so into it is because of Sherry. I blame you for this, Sherry, because I have spent hours fixing up my houses. And then once I fell into, I think on the PS4, it's called Scrap This Settlement. I know we talked about it before. I mean, you could just spend hours just scrapping stuff.
Yeah. I just spent all Sunday last weekend scrapping Sanctuary. I think I was like, holy crap, this is ridiculous. And now that I think that I have absolutely everything scrapped, I'm still, every time I go into build mode, I could stumble across a couple of more things that I've missed. It's like there is so much to scrap.
So much. And so now I got to do it in every settlement. That's the problem.
Oh God.
I can't leave them all dirty.
I was like, I'm going to do this very thoroughly in one just to say that I did, and then it's probably good enough. It's probably fun. All right, guys. You have any other thoughts about Jeremy's feedback there?
Yep, sounds like he's having a lot of fun.
Go, Jeremy.
Already kicking my ass and everything. Well, guys, we don't have any other thoughts for this evening. There was one note I'd like to finish the show here on. One of our favorite listeners and community members, Adam Plude, has had a bit of bad medical news. And so we would like everyone to please keep him and their thoughts right now. I know that there's been a backlash against thoughts and prayers that do nothing, but in this case, they will do something. So please support our friend, Adam. He needs our thoughts right now. If you would like more information on his condition and what is happening, his link is I posted the link in our Facebook page, but if you're not a Facebook member, it's hollyjill.net is his wife's webpage, and you can find her blog there. She's tracking it in her blog. Again, that is Holly, HOLLY, Jill.net, JILL, hollyjill.net. So be supportive of our friend Adam in his time of need. He and his family need our support right now. And thank you, Adam, for listening and being a good community member. On that note, I would like to thank everyone for listening to this edition of the Fallout Feed. Please tune in next Saturday, April 14th, when we will be fetching the bobbleheads intelligence, speech, and energy weapons. Craig and Colin will be on the podcast. The twitching team will be Colin fetching intelligence. Kara will be twitching the speech bobblehead. And we need to double confirm this, but I believe Sean Hoyt will be getting the energy weapons bobblehead for us, maybe? I don't know. We'll double check in with Sean, and maybe Victor can help confirm that for us. But that'll be next time. And then, of course, we'll go back to Thursday night for the play-along feedback after that. The Amazon link is at the top of our webpage. Mother's Day is coming up, everyone. Don't forget the ladies in your lives. I'd like to thank Wendy, the Burning One, and Jeremy, and anyone else hanging out in the YouTube chat this evening. Thanks, guys. Very nice of you. Sarah, thank you for joining me tonight.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Ray, a pleasure as always, sir.
Indeed.
Thank you, everyone, for listening to this edition of the Fallout Feed, and we will see you in the Wasteland.
Thank you for downloading this episode of the Fallout Feed Roundtable. If you are interested in doing a play-along character with us, the show can be contacted by emailing falloutroundtable@gmail.com. For the roundtable schedule, our Amazon link, and all other show information, please head on over to asapodcasting.com, where you will find the Fallout Feed, the Askyrimaddictpodcast, our YouTube channel, the Chatterbox, as well as other content. Once again, thank you for downloading, and we'll see you in the Wasteland.